What's up, spectators? Welcome back to an episode of Professor Layton vs. Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright. Last time we were interrogating the vigilantes, but because I left right in the middle of the interrogation, I now have no recollection of what we were up to. What was being said, there's something about shoe prints and the guy with the weird accent that I can't understand, so I'm gonna have to use a hint coin, because I need a jump start to know where I was. I don't know if 123 hit coins, I don't know if that's gonna be enough. Okay, what do you want me to do? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna skim read these so I can remember what's going on. Guarding the bell tower ever since it appeared. Tried to hide decisive proof that the girl is the Great Witch. Ah, yes, the necklace. Before the rain, after the rain, at no point did a single suspicion. Ah, yes, because they were invisible. But there were footprints. When I saw those muddy footprints at first, I figured they were foxies. You want me to present something for footprints. But what do you want me to present? Probably the footprint sketch, but what's wrong with the footprint sketch? I guess I'll present it and see what's up.
Objection!
You seem pretty sure that the footprints in the bell tower were Miss Foxy's. In other words, the footprints you saw were stiletto footprints with pointy tips. Yeah, pointy. They were hers for sure. And yet, we have a sketch of the footprints as they were found after the incident. Not stilettos. Oh, those footprints. They have rounded tips. So you see, Mr. Lywood, your testimony contradicts the evidence. See, if he's Lywood, why would they just name them all Vigilante? It's so stupid. Make my life a little bit easier, would you? That sketch was drawn by the court illustrator based on how we found the crime scene immediately after the incident. Oh, now you question the sketch work of the court illustrator, whom we have never met yet? Shut up, Darklaw. Just shut up. Grasping at straws. I can guarantee that the sketch is accurate. Oh. Well, I saw what I saw. There's no way I was wrong. How can you say that? The reason is pretty simple. If I'd seen footprints like those in the sketch, it wouldn't have occurred to me that they might be Foxy's. Exactly! Those are nothing like Foxy's. Sweet Foxy's footprints look like this. This is quite puzzling. Perhaps the defense could explain this contradiction. Only one trail of footprints was found in the bell tower. One of the witnesses claims the footprints had pointy tips. But the court illustrator's sketch of the crime scene shows they were rounded. Is the witness account correct, or is the sketch that shows the truth? Oh no! Oh, why would you... See, now I think it's either Lywood is correct or they're both correct. It's one of these. I still have 4 health. I can risk it. The witness has to be right. The footprints were pointy.
Objection!
You have just made an enemy of the Inquisitors. Perhaps you do not value your life. But if you're so confident, let me ask you, on what grounds do you discredit the evidence? Oh, I clearly got it wrong. Alright, I got it wrong. Alright. Because if the footprints were shown in the sketch, the accused would be found guilty. That's not your reason, is it? But what if it isn't both? What if they just go, oh, okay, why don't you keep such observations to yourself? Sorry, Nick, but you're like an open book to me. This is quite puzzling. Perhaps the defense can explain this contradiction. Only one trail of footprints was found in the bell tower. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. The next one I would have chosen is they're both correct. But because this is probably a long case and I don't want to lose any more lives, not yet, I'm gonna go ahead and use a hint. God, no, I know that already. You, oh my God. Well, I was gonna go there, both correct, so let's do it. Both the witness and the sketch are correct, Your Honor. What? 2 different types of footprints were observed in the bell tower. Now, If neither party is mistaken, it means that 2 trails of footprints were left on the stairs.
Objection!
It's so obvious I shouldn't have to mention it, but if you trust that the sketch presents the facts accurately, there was only 1 trail left on those steps. You can see it quite clearly.
Objection!
So that was the right one, good. Actually, it's possible the sketch is showing 2 trails. Push, push, push. And how would that be? Let's organize this evening's events on a timeline. Mr. Lywood discovered the footprints soon after the rain stopped. Which means that at that point, someone had already entered the bell tower. Yes, that would be the case. The footprints that were observed then had pointy tips. And then sometime later, another person went up those stairs and stepped over them. Well, that's kind of silly. But that person left different footprints that had rounded tips. Oh, I think I can see where this is going. I'm glad you follow, Your Honor. You see, the second person walked on the footprints that had already been left, perfectly covering them up as they went. Whoa! This explains why only 1 trail of footprints was left.
Objection!
Preposterous. That's just too far-fetched. What makes you say that? Even we can tell you that much. There's no way there were 2 intruders. It's a big stretch, honey.
And if you put it at them as a witch out was invisible.
You heard him. We would have seen the other one. What you're saying makes sense. But it's a fact that none of you noticed the second intruder. And the only explanation for that is that the second intruder was also a witch who had also made herself invisible when she entered the bell tower. Whoa, 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 whoa. What? Oh!
Objection!
Objection! Ludicrous. Are you honestly suggesting that 2 witches managed to sneak into the bell tower? It may seem ludicrous to you, but you can't say it's not a possibility. It could have been her and Kira. Yes, that makes sense. It's easy to bat around possibilities, but your theory alone doesn't change anything. Or perhaps you have some proof to support your little story. Because we do have proof that Aspella Cantabella was, in fact, in the bell tower at the time of the crime. Not only was she seen by many people, but this was found at the crime scene afterwards, too. Aspella's pendant. If you think there was 1 more person in the bell tower, then prove it, defender. Very well, then. The defense shall present evidence. What evidence? Do you have proof that someone other than the accused was in the bell tower? Ooh, bell tower was constantly guarded. Bell tower plan. Crime scene entrance. This doesn't help at all. Belfry crime scene. There's nothing here. Is there? Is there something here? No. That's not good. There's the contraption that we still haven't done anything with that accepts the pendant, but we still don't really know for sure what it does. There's the flower-covered robe found at the crime scene in the bell tower. This could be it. This is what I'm gonna present. This is the best chance I've got.
Take that!
That's, what is it? This robe was found at the top of the... at the top floor of the bell tower. As you can see, it's way too big for Aspella. What if it's like lazy clothes, you know? Like, let's say you wear a small, but then at home you wear a large because it's super big and comfy, like a parachute. I don't know why I don't know why my mind would jump to parachute. God, why was that so difficult? Indeed, it would seem to belong to a much taller person. Vigilantes, I'd like you all to confirm something for me. You have been guarding the bell tower ever since it appeared, correct? Indeed we have, sir. Had anyone ever gone up the bell tower before the incident this evening? Of course not. What would be our purpose if we freely allowed people inside? Suspicious or not, sadly no one ever approaches our bell tower. I see, but then... how did this robe get up there? Do you get it now? There must have been a second witch in the bell tower. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. So there were 2 witches inside that tower. A second robe proves there was... doesn't even prove that there's a second witch. It's nonsense. Everyone's an idiot. It's true that the defendant was seen in the bell tower at the time of the crime. Oh, that's fun to say. Time of the crime. The rhyme of the time of the crime. Of the prime. But if another witch was present too, it's impossible to say for sure that it was Miss Cantabella who summoned the fire dragon. I was kind of hoping they'd do that. Oh dear. Calm down, everyone. We must not let this defender confuddle our understanding of the situation. It was the Great Witch Bazella that summoned the fire dragon.
I'm gonna expose the fool witch she is!
I understood that one. We've braved fierce rapids, scaled high mountains, and crossed vast plains to testify at this court and expose the Great Witch. What are they talking about? You'll know soon. High Inquisitor Darklaw, permit us to testify again. You believe you can reveal the truth about the accused? Yes, Lady Darklaw. We may be just a bunch of commoners, but we shall offer you our testimony with passion, purpose, and plausibility. Let us speak now for the sake of Labyrinthia. Oh man, for the sake of my sanity, please don't speak. See now, for you guys, this is coming out Monday morning, but for me, this is Sunday night, and Game of Thrones is about to premiere again, and I am pumped for that. Oh man, I'm sorry, I'm loving the game right now, but it's just in the back of my mind. Game of Thrones is on soon. Better get ready for it. Just shut up. All right. I don't know why that even popped into my mind and why I mentioned it. For the sake of my sanity, please don't speak. Yes, they're about to retestify. Permission granted. May your words be as sharp as swords. And cut through all lies and fallacies straight to the truth. Shut up. So many testimonies we gotta go through again. The storyteller finished speaking to the crowds at the town square in the evening. That's when the Great Witch appeared. I still cannot forget the sound of that terrible incantation. It was undoubtedly that girl's voice. We ran towards the tower as soon as we saw her, keeping our eyes on her to make sure she didn't escape. We split into 2 groups at the entrance. One group to guard it, the other to chase down the witch. I was in the first group. The first group to guard the tower, or guard the entrance. I was one of the pursuers. I ran into the tower and caught the... There was no one but us at the crime scene. We captured the girl. There was no one for anyone to hide there. I gave him a funny voice. I don't remember what it was, though. I enjoyed doing it. There was no other witch, I'm sure of it. I was guarding the entrance. I heard the door locked. That's right, young one. The fateful bell tower, the fateful incident. We saw them with our own fateful eyes. Okay. So the gist, they kept their eyes on her, split into 2 groups. One went up, one stayed down. Well, I suppose that can again be summed up by saying, you all did the best you could. The vigilantes were the first to arrive at the crime scene. Their testimony is credible. It does seem so. And if what they say is indeed true, it would be decisive proof of the accused's guilt. Our opponent is a witch, the Great Witch to be exact. Things probably aren't as simple as they seem. Hey, if you think so, feel free to look for any cracks in their testimony. If there are any, and if you're up to it. Defender, you may begin the interrogation. Alright. Let's see. Storyteller finished speaking. That's when the Great Witch appeared.
Hold it!
Shortly before sunset, there were lots of people in the town square, weren't there? All the people were in the square. You read the content of the story, didn't you? The town's grand finale was kind of a big deal, huh? It happened only several hours ago, a sight we'll never forget. The storyteller noticed the Great Witch first. She appeared at the bell tower, and she conjured a flame above her finger. The storyteller fixed his gaze on that flame. But it was already too late. The Great Witch uttered the incantation. Grand Worm. I still cannot forget the sound of that terrible incantation. It was undoubtedly that girl's voice.
Hold it!
And by that girl, you mean... What a question! I mean Espella Cantabella, who else? She took her father's life with that fearsome word. Yeah! No doubt about it, that voice belonged to Espella Cantabella. That fiendish voice. It even made me shudder, a little. Oh yes! She shouted that dreadful incantation. What? You idiot! Wrong trial, Grandpa. That wasn't even the same witch. It looks like they all remember her voice. Well, to be honest, I also think it was Espella's voice. Maybe it's better not to dig too deep into this topic. We ran towards the tower as soon as we saw her, keeping our eyes on her to make sure she didn't escape.
Hold it!
Were the vigilantes the first to arrive at the crime scene? Isn't that something we already established, Phoenix? Of course. I was worried the Great Witch may escape us, so I never took my eyes off her until I reached that bell tower. So you did. You didn't lose sight of her even once. No, even when I tripped on a pebble and fell down, I kept my eyes fixed on her. It's dangerous to run without paying attention to where you're stepping. I saw my fellow vigilantes capture the Great Witch. That's when I tripped and fell. It was impossible for someone else to have traded places with the person who summoned that fire dragon. Impossible for someone else to have traded places with the person who summoned the fire dragon. Therefore, the Great Witch Bazella can be none other than Espella Cantabella. Interesting. They're adding this emphasis on the words. I'm trying to piece it together. We split into two groups at the entrance.
Hold it!
Can you tell me which vigilantes were guarding the entrance? It was me and Lotta Lance. The rest went after the witch. Right, Lotta Lance? Yeah, I think that's right.
Wait a bit. I was there with you. I was guarding the entrance with you.
Ah, yes. Now that I think about it, it was quite a scene. If you want to know more, why don't you ask the kid? I'm fairly certain that I too was there, guarding the entrance. Well, wherever I may have been, the winds that blow over plains will have blown just the same. These guys aren't the best when it comes to teamwork. He keeps reminding me of Merlin. Or I guess, I'm thinking Merlin in the Disney film back when, oh god, when was that one filmed? In the 1940s or something? Many years ago. But then again, I guess his beard length also reminds me of Saruman. Anyways, I was one of the pursuers. I ran to the tower and caught the witch.
Hold it!
You did it? You caught the witch. She was as if in a daze. I too was in a daze. Then I seemed to fall unconscious. When I came to, it seemed that I'd captured her. What? You climbed the tower before anyone else? Yes, that's correct. Let me tell you, that guy's the fastest among us. Runs at breakneck speed. Number 5 is very light. I'm quite jealous of his feathery build. I just don't know what to say. There was no one but us at the crime scene.
Hold it!
Are you sure there was no one else? Very sure. There were only 2 people on the top floor. You said 2? Yes, 2. It was me and my sweet Foxy. You know, now that I think about it, Foxy is very suspicious as well. Yeah, it's been over 20 minutes, but don't worry. I'll keep pressing until we get to the very last guy, until we get to Merlin, and then I'll end the video. It was me and my sweet Foxy. What? I am in love. All my attention is directed at Foxy. That's a weak excuse. There were several other vigilantes at the crime scene too, weren't there? Yeah, probably. But that means nothing to me. To me, there's only Foxy. That's my romantic interpretation of events. I wish you would testify about what you actually witnessed. We captured the girl. There was nowhere for anyone to hide there.
Hold it!
How can you be sure there was nowhere to hide? The whole city was watching the tower at the time. If the witch tried to climb down using a ladder or something, she'd have been seen. That's a fair point. But we're talking about Bazella here. She could have become invisible and flown out the bell tower, you know? It'd be a child's play for Bazella since she can use any spell she wants. Right. The Great Witch Bazella could have escaped with ease. And yet, Aspella was caught at the crime scene. Hear that? That's further proof there's no way Aspella is Bazella, right? It's hardly conclusive. I mean, if that was enough to convince everyone, we wouldn't be having this trial. But there's something in Foxy's testimony that keeps nagging at me. Was there really no place to hide? Can any evidence in the court record confirm that? Oh, the Belfry. Okay, got it. You're telling me to present evidence here? I can say the Belfry, and they'll go, what? There's no way she could have gone in there. And then I'll present the contraption, and then boom, evidence on evidence. Yes, got it. Yeah, shut up, Dark. I don't know. Shut up. I don't care what you have to say. Actually, now that I know what to present on, let's end this video. Wait, hold on. Let's verify that it's correct first, because I could be wrong. In which case, I'll look like a big nitty at the beginning of the next episode. So where is the bell tower plan?
Objection!
The eyes of the whole town were on the bell tower, and the entrance was locked. Witches may be able to make themselves invisible, but they can't physically disappear. Which means it's not unreasonable to suggest that escaping from the bell tower was nearly impossible. However, hiding themselves after the incident is a different story. That's the sketch of the bell tower, isn't it? Most fascinating. Well, Defender, how about you show us? And now that I've proven that I'm right, I'm gonna end this video here. So stay tuned for the next episode, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye!